So guys, I think we've just seen the worst. And I mean, the worst call in the history of sport. I think we actually might have just seen the worst call in the entire history of sport. And, like, this is a shock that it is actually not DeJounte Carrington committing a flagrant foul.
DJ Carrington has quickly become one of the WNBA's most polarizing figures, and after the July 26th clash between the Dallas Wings and the Golden State Valkyries, her saga just took an unexpected turn. Known for making headlines for all the wrong reasons, DJ finally got a dose of her own medicine in what might be the most ironic moment of the 2025 season.
That call on DeJounte when Tiffany literally flew over her, wild. And then if you saw Paige's face when it was like, I think like 55 seconds left on the clock or something like that, and the coach was like giving them the next play, bruh.
DJ Carrington has quickly become one of the WNBA's most polarizing figures, and after the July 26th clash between the Dallas Wings and the Golden State Valkyries, her saga just took an unexpected turn. Known for making headlines for all the wrong reasons, DJ finally got a dose of her own medicine in what might be the most ironic moment of the 2025 season.
Hayes does not look nor play like she's 35. Okay, she be bringing it to them girls each and every night. She got that, acting like that face harness, okay, like to protect her face, her eyes, her nose, whatever that is. She be look like a dominatrix to me. I'd be like, bro, who is that? She looks like, it's giving Scarecrow. Or like a Black Raven vibe, okay, like a hawk. Like she looks like a bird of prey, okay? And that's how she plays. She plays like a bird of prey, while the other girls in the court are just worms to her, okay? They are bird food because she be cooking and eating everybody.
While questionable officiating has been a league-wide issue in the WNBA, DJ Carrington had somehow dodged the worst of it until July 26th. That's when the script flipped, and for the first time, she found herself on the wrong end of one of the league's most baffling calls.
So the ball gets swung, Janelle Salon shoots the ball. It's coming out. So, DeJounte Carrington is just shielding the ball out of bounds. She's just shielding the ball out of bounds, as you do. And Tiffany Hayes tackles her to the ground.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe. With under 2 minutes remaining and Dallas trailing by 3, Janelle Salon's deep three-point attempt missed, triggering a mad scramble for the rebound. DJ Carrington chased it down, but smartly let the ball roll out of bounds to secure possession for Dallas, a savvy heads-up play. Then, chaos erupted. Tiffany Hayes came sprinting at full speed and slammed into the now stationary Carrington from behind, sending both players crashing. To the court, by any measure, it looked like a clear foul on Hayes. She initiated the contact and was completely out of control.
And was able to draw a foul. I'm like, what is this? I mean, she almost deleted freaking DeJounte. I thought, like, I was really gravely concerned for DeJounte Carrington's life and health. I'm like, did y'all not just see Tiffany Hayes just throw her body up against her and slam her to the ground? This is crazy. Literally slammed her. DeJounte Carrington got pushed into a freaking old white man's lap because of Tiffany Hayes jumping on her like she ain't got no sense.
Yet somehow, the referees called the foul on Carrington a decision so baffling it left even veteran WNBA fans stunned. And yes, it's worth repeating. Tiffany Hayes barreled full speed into a completely stationary DJ. Carrington knocked her to the floor, and the officials still ruled Carrington was at fault. The call was so blatantly wrong that even those who normally criticize Carrington had to admit the refs got this one completely wrong.
Skylar's going down for a fast break layup. DeJounte winds up and smacks her across the head, and Skylar is on the ground having a hard time getting up. But this was something where people are saying, okay, DeJounte, this is happening a little bit too much for my liking. These hard fouls, these reckless plays are happening a little bit too much. And I want to show you guys one more play that was also in that game that actually injured Gabby Williams. Now, if you watch here, Gabby Williams is going up for a little mid-range jumper. DeJounte jumps to try to block her, and she comes down to where Gabby Gabby Williams doesn't have enough landing space. So she lands in her landing space, and then Gabby Williams rolls her ankle.
Now here's where things take a surprising and frankly ironic turn. Normally, a call this outrageous would have triggered immediate backlash from across the WNBA community. Fans, players, analysts, even casual viewers would be up in arms, slamming the officiating and showing support for the player who got the short end of the stick. But this wasn't a typical situation, and DJ Carrington isn't just any player. The reaction was swift and brutal, but not in the way you'd expect. Instead of defending Carrington after she was clearly wronged, fans across social media seemed to shrug and say, "Good, she had it coming."
So once again, Dejanay Ratchet as Carrington is back at it again, being the dirty player that she is, man. So now we're pulling players to the floor by their hair. But what did we tweet earlier this week, everybody? Y'all fans swear I'm such a dirty player. I'm so over this narrative. But I just play hard as fuck. And I just make a play on the ball. And I'm tired of people calling me a dirty player.
The response on social media was loud and clear. Fans who had seen DJ Carrington poke Caitlin Clark in the eye, rack up multiple flagrant fouls, and consistently play with what many perceived as a dirty edge, weren't outraged, they were satisfied. Comments flooded in saying things like, "Karma finally caught up with her, and now she knows what it feels like." The reaction was so one-sided, it became a story in its own right. Here was a player who had undeniably been wronged by a terrible call, yet found almost no sympathy from the basketball world. It was a textbook case of how reputation and past actions can shape public perception, even when someone is clearly the victim of an injustice.
Points to this Dallas ball. But do you know what another referee called? So one says it's Dallas ball. Another referee, as you can see right here, Salon miss, Valkyrie's rebound. Apparently Tiffany Hayes got the rebound. And Dejanay fouled Tiffany Hayes. Apparently, Tiffany Hayes got the rebound and got fouled by jumping on Dejanay Carrington.
Calling it one of the worst officiating blunders in WNBA history might actually be generous. Carrington executed the play flawlessly. She hustled after the loose ball, made the smart decision to pull back, and held her ground. Hayes came flying in at full speed and crashed into her from behind. Carrington never moved, never initiated contact, yet somehow she was the one called for the foul. By any rulebook standard or basic logic, it should have been a foul on Hayes, or, at the very least, a no call. The whistle was so blatantly wrong that even Golden State fans, whose team directly benefited from it, struggled to defend the decision. Dallas fans were justifiably outraged, not only because the call robbed them of a critical possession late in the game, but because it symbolized everything fans have been complaining about when it comes to WNBA officiating. The momentum swung instantly. What should have been Dallas ball turned into Golden State possession, and the Valkyries capitalized, pulling away to win by 10.
Dejanay Carrington, damn, I didn't think it was this bad. She played for 15 minutes. It felt like it was longer. She had 4 points, 1 assist, and 4 rebounds. I'm gonna tell you why we should have won, okay? When it comes to the biggest lead, the Dallas Wings had 12-point lead. We blew a 12-point lead, whereas the Golden State Valkyries only by 2. They had 10 points over us at the most in this game. 12 versus 10 points.
The poetic irony of the entire situation wasn't lost on anyone paying attention. DJ Carrington had poked Caitlin Clark in the eye, with no foul called and no disciplinary action from the league. She'd racked up multiple flagrant fouls, many of which were later rescinded on appeal, and had even been involved in incidents that required security to intervene between her and game officials. Yet somehow, she had managed to avoid being on the receiving end of the officiating chaos that had plagued so many others this season. But on July 26th, karma finally caught up with her, and in the most fitting way imaginable. The timing couldn't have been worse for Carrington or the Dallas Wings. It happened in a tightly contested game where every possession counted. During a season in which Dallas was already fighting for relevance, that blown call didn't just shift momentum, it directly led to points for Golden State, and played a major role in a loss that could have serious playoff implications down the stretch.
Is this? Look, pulling players to the floor by their hair is not making plays on the ball. This is not basketball. WNBA. When is she gonna get fined, suspended, or kicked out of the league for this reckless behavior? This is the 4th incident. The Lynx incident, taking out Ariel Atkins, taking out Skylar Diggins, and now the LA Sparks. When is it gonna stop, man? When is accountability gonna be taken for her being the dirty player and ratchet that she is?
Usually, when a player gets burned by a bad call, there's at least some public sympathy. Fans speak out, analysts dissect the play to show how the officials got it wrong, and social media tends to rally behind the wronged player. But that wasn't the case for DJ Carrington. Instead, the overwhelming sentiment was, tough break, but she brought it on herself. There was little outrage over the officiating, and even less support for Carrington. It was a clear example of how a player's past behavior can shape how they're treated in the present, even when they're clearly the victim. And when fans are more satisfied watching a player get punished by a bad call than they are concerned about the call itself, it's a sign that the league may be losing trust and credibility with its own audience.
All right, black and white sports reporters. Well, it doesn't matter how many times Dejanay Carrington wants to get on her social media and want to claim that she's the victim and that she's not a dirty player. The league has rescinded fouls. Yeah, the league's rescinding flagrant fouls on you because it's run by a bunch of cowards. They're flagrant fouls. They're dirty plays. They're trashy plays. Someone's going to get very physically injured. At this point, Dejanay Carrington, forget about it. You won't beat these allegations.
Ideally, fans should be outraged by terrible officiating, no matter which player is affected. But the response to Carrington's situation revealed something deeper. Many fans have stopped expecting fair and consistent officiating altogether. Incident also highlights how certain players become lightning rods for broader frustrations within the league. Carrington's reputation for overly physical at times, reckless play made her an easy target for fans who feel the WNBA lacks accountability and consistency when it comes to enforcing rules. From a competitive perspective, the fact that such egregious calls can happen in the final moments of a tight game is alarming. It raises serious concerns about the league's ability to preserve the integrity of its competition. If fans start believing that outcomes are being shaped by incompetent or biased officiating rather than performance on the court, it threatens to erode trust in the very foundation of professional basketball.
That might be, that is the worst call I've ever seen in basketball. That is actually the worst call I've ever seen in basketball. She just jumped through her. She knew. It is what it is. People will shield or get in the way of the ball and stand there. She just jumped over the back. Worst case scenario, it's an over the back foul. Worst case scenario, it's an over the back. It is at least a foul on Tiffany Hayes, if not a flagrant.
So, where does DJ Carrington go from here? The July 26th karma moment may have been satisfying for her critics, but it doesn't erase the real concerns surrounding her style of play and her contentious relationships with officials and opponents. Anything, it should be a wake-up call, a clear sign that her reputation is starting to take a serious toll on how she's perceived across the league. Because here's the truth. Carrington is a talented player. She earned her Most Improved Player award through real growth and relentless work. Her defensive instincts are legit, and her offensive game has taken noticeable strides over the past few seasons. But the issue is that her reputation for reckless play and poor sportsmanship is beginning to eclipse her actual basketball talent. And when even her own supporters struggle to defend her in the face of a blatantly bad call, that's not just a PR problem, it's a credibility issue. For Carrington, this moment could be more than just a controversial call. It could be a turning point.
You will not. Of course they're rescinding the fouls. That's what this league does. All right? Look, people can tell the difference between physical play and dirty play. And now there's a laundry list of evidence. Look, at this point, Dejanay Carrington should have been suspended, fined multiple times over. Of course they won't. Now we're gonna hit you with a flagrant, and then behind the scenes we're cool. We're cool. We're gonna rescind the flagrant.
Throughout this entire saga, the connection to Caitlin Clark has been impossible to overlook. It was the eye poke incident in September 2024 that truly marked the beginning of DJ Carrington's reputation issue sand. It's almost poetic that her so-called karma moment unfolded during a season in which Clark has only solidified her place as the league's biggest star and most respected figure. The contrast between the two players in how they handle controversy couldn't be more stark. When Clark was poked in the eye, she responded with composure, defending Carrington's intent and choosing to focus on her own performance rather than fueling the drama. Her sportsmanship and maturity, combined with elite-level play, have made her a fan favorite. Carrington, despite her clear talent, has gone in the opposite direction, bumming a polarizing figure known more for dangerous plays and questionable judgment than for her on-court contributions. That's why the events of July 26th felt like poetic justice. In 2024, Clark was the victim of a non-call that probably should have been a foul. Now, in 2025, Carrington was on the other and called for a foul she clearly didn't commit. In a way, it felt like the basketball universe had come full circle, delivering a moment of balance between two players whose careers have become intertwined by controversy and perception.